Hey guys, Michelle here. Question. Do you feel like your life is a little bit of a mess? Are you feeling like there's a recipe for disaster in the works? If you are feeling a little bit discouraged, we're headed into the last part of the year. If you're feeling a little bit down or a little bit crazy, life's a little messy, hang with me for a second. I have something for you today, and it all started with a chocolate cake. So it is birthday season in our house, meaning that like pretty much our entire family has birthdays stacked through the fall. Today, one of my daughters has another birthday, so last night I was making her birthday cake, and I always make the kids their cake. I kind of let them choose their cake and their frosting. I always try to make it yummy, cute in some way, but always delicious, of course. So I made the cake last night, and I decided at about midnight, as I'm about to frost the cake, she wanted a peanut butter frosting. So I kind of got the ingredients that I had and decided to make up a recipe. Now I have recipes that I've nailed down, but I just kind of used what I had and was gonna do something different. And yeah, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend making up your own frosting recipes at midnight. Not a good idea. So, but you know, I've baked enough. I have enough sense and instinct that I thought it through, and I was like, I think this will work. So I put it together, and it just did not look good. And let me just explain one of the reasons why is because I try not to use a lot of refined sugar. So, you know, when you make a frosting, you always put that confectioner's. Oh, sorry. I hope that didn't cut out. Anyways, you always put that confectioner sugar, the powdered sugar in. It gives it the smoothness. It helps it hold its shape. So, I mean, who makes frosting without that? I do. I make frosting without any powdered sugar in it at all. So, needless to say, it's possible, it does work, but it's very tricky. Like, it has to be the right consistency. The ingredients have to be the right temperature. Like, it has to work because the main sweetener that I'm using is organic maple syrup. So all that to say, I put this recipe together and I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is horrible. Like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do with this. I had an idea of what I wanted to do. Of course, I went to Pinterest and had kind of an idea of what I wanted the cake to look like, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is really, really bad. I knew from the beginning, but I just decided, I'm like, you know what? Let's just keep moving forward and let's see what I can make happen. So anyways, started filling the piping bag, started putting the cake together, and just like I thought, I'm like, it was horrible, guys. I can't even, I don't know if I've ever made a frosting this bad in my life. It was like grainy and gritty, and like it was like a sticky toothpaste. Like it was just awful. Started putting the cake together, and I'm putting it together and I'm thinking it through, and I'm like trying to figure out, what can I do to make this okay? What am I gonna do to salvage this? I'm trying to get an idea or an inspiration, and it's just bad. So as I'm putting this cake together, I get to the outside, and there was literally several points that I stopped and was like laughing out loud because it was a joke, like a total joke. I'm like, this is unreal. So I'm asking myself, should I start all over and just like almost throw the thing away? Should I scrape it off and try to like cover it up and make a whole new recipe? I'm trying to figure out what my options are. I even thought, can I get like the most forgiving cupcake, piping tip, like a star or something, and just put stars all over it? But then I was like, that's not even cute because it wasn't even pink. Like, I wasn't even putting food color in it or anything. So it's just like a peanut butter frosting. I'm like, that's gonna be ugly. So anyways, I just continued forward, even though it was not looking good and it just didn't make a lot of sense. So it ended up about, I don't know, well past midnight. Hey, Christy. Yes, you can put this in my cookbook. This is one of my big fails, right? You'd think after this long I'd have something figured out. Anyways, I ended up at midnight, well past midnight. I'm on my knees in the kitchen, and the only way I could get the frosting like kind of smooth was to I had like a cup of hot water and the silver spatula, and I'm like dripping water drips all over the cake, and I'm trying to kind of smooth this thing out. I'm trying to salvage this thing. Now, it's gonna be delicious. It is delicious. it's just, I'm trying to get it to look cute, and I'm not worried about it being perfect. My daughter's gonna be thrilled, but still, I'm like, I gotta make this work, because it was, you just gotta trust me, it was rough. Anyways, I ended up getting it frosted. I got it as smooth as I could, and by the end of it, I've never done this before, but I ended up taking my sprinkles and I was literally throwing sprinkles on the cake, like to kind of decorate it, to add some color, to cover it. And it was because I couldn't dare touch it. If I touched it, it would just all stick to my hands. It was a mess. So I'm throwing sprinkles on the cake, and it was just wild. But you know what? It actually turned out pretty good. It actually turned out pretty cute. It's set in the fridge, and it's gonna be fine. It's all good. So why do I share that? I share that because I know that a lot of you guys, this year, it just feels like a bad batch. It just feels like a big mess. You've been looking at it and you're trying to figure it out and you're trying to work with it, and it just is like, man, this year is a loss. I'm just gonna wait till next year. We're at the end of the year. Like there's no hope for this situation, right? But I want to just encourage you that there is hope. And I want to encourage you that no matter what you're going through, no matter how hopeless and crazy and sticky and messy it looks like, and no matter how much it just looks like a loss in some ways, keep trying, keep figuring it out. Don't quit. Don't throw in the towel. Look for new angles, look for new strategies, look for new ideas, and see what you can do to make something good out of what you have. I just think that is the best thing we can do right now in this season, and as we're heading to the end of the year, because life is messy. It doesn't always work out as planned, even if you've done something well. Like I've been making, now I'm not a cake maker, okay? So like, well, to put it this way, like fondant, you know how you picture fondant? Like this frosting I made last night was like as far opposite to that as you can imagine. Like not smooth, not pretty, like whatever. But I'm not a cake maker, but I've made enough cakes where you'd feel like I should have it down by now. It shouldn't be that hard. There shouldn't be a mess here. But it happened, things happen. But there were so many points I kept stopping and questioning myself. What do I do here? Should I go on? Should I start over? Do I cover this up? How do I hide this or reconcile this situation? But I just kept going. I just kept trying. I was like, no, it's going to be fine. It's going to work out. Something's going to work out. It's going to come together. And it did. And so I just want you to apply that little truth from this cake situation to your life, because I have faith that if you keep trying, if you keep going, if you keep asking yourself good questions, and you don't quit, you're gonna make something good out of whatever mess you're dealing with. There is hope for your situation. So, okay, so I know you guys probably want to see what this cake looks like. My daughter's upstairs. She hasn't seen it yet, so I'm gonna show you. Okay, brought it in here. Right? It's not bad. Can you see it? It says happy birthday. So yeah, I threw the sprinkles on. I don't know if I can tip it this way. Ooh, I'll make it fall. Yeah, it's a little fragile, but it's gonna be delicious, and she's gonna be thrilled, and she's gonna feel special. It's gonna be good. So here's the thing. When in doubt, if all else fails, just throw sprinkles on it. Meaning, whatever your situation is, bring some joy. Choose to be thankful. Throw good on it. Have some fun. Like if you choose joy, no matter what the circumstance or the situation, you're always going to be on the winning side. So just know that whatever you're dealing with, it is possible to make something good out of it. It is possible to make a little masterpiece of some kind out of your mess. You can do it. And it's going to be okay. So head into this last little bit strong, and throw some sprinkles on, choose joy, and keep working and figuring it out. We are all in this together. Hope you guys have a blessed rest of the day.